You think the Heeler house is just a cozy cartoon home? Wrong. This place has more secrets than Bandit's browser history. From ghostly floorboards to a fridge that mysteriously empties itself. We're about to uncover the terrifying truth. Brace yourself, or wear extra-absorbent socks. Did you know the Heeler house isn't just a cute cartoon home? It's basically a canine-sized mansion with a PhD in hiding stuff? Officially, it has 21 different rooms and spaces. 21! That's enough to play hide-and-seek until Bingo's old enough to pay rent. But when Bluey's team dropped photos on Instagram, we only got to peek at 8 rooms. 7 were ones we already knew. And the 8th, just a postcard-worthy shot of the Heeler house on the hill. So where are the other 13 rooms hiding? In a secret basement? Inside Bandit's tool shed? Or maybe behind that suspicious couch cushion nobody lifts because it smells like old snacks. And here's the twist you didn't see coming. This iconic house on the hill? It's straight up inspired by Peppa Pig's home. Yup, Joe Brumm, the genius behind Bluey, revealed in an interview that the very first design for the Heeler house took cues from Peppa's hilltop pad. Basically, Bandit and Chili are living in a pig-approved architectural masterpiece. Brumm even started with a black and white sketch version before the house got its warm colors, which feels oddly dramatic for a dog cartoon. Can you imagine sketching your dream home only to realize, yep, this needs 21 rooms, a balcony for dramatic howling, and at least 3 snack stashes for Bingo. It's crazy to think this playful house design, influenced by a British pig family, set the entire tone of Bluey's world. One little hill, one big inspiration, and apparently a lot of secret rooms we're not allowed to see. Either the Heelers are hiding state secrets, or they just really don't want us to know how many chew toys they own. Something strange is going on behind the Heeler house, and no, it's not just Bandit trying to barbecue without burning the sausages again. The original backyard designs don't quite match what we see in the show today. Most suspiciously, the second floor is completely missing in these sketches. Where's the kitchen? Where's the dining room? In Season 3, we see the kitchen sitting neatly above the outdoor entrance, but in these drawings, it's just gone. Maybe the Heelers invented teleporting toast. Both concept drawings do feature the famous poinciana tree, the sand pit from Granny's, and that tiny shed we spot in onesies and backpackers. But roll things back to the 2017 pilot, and the house is a whole different beast. Instead of a neat deck, there's a 2-level staircase leading into the yard. No poinciana tree, just a random palm tree, probably added so Bandit could brag about owning exotic landscaping. Forget the sandpit and shed. The only backyard feature is a trampoline. Yep, the Heelers went from luxury jungle gym to grandparent-approved sandbox. The third image shows the kitchen, which is honestly the most stable room in the whole Heeler universe. From the original design to the pilot to what we see now, it hasn't changed much. And thank goodness, because that iconic leafy greenery creeping into the kitchen window is the real MVP of Bluey's interior design. Who wouldn't want to wash dishes while staring at a mini rainforest? It's wild to see how much the Heeler home has evolved, like a cartoon Pokemon with better snacks. Different floors, mystery rooms, disappearing trampolines, and yet somehow it still feels like the coziest house on TV. Quick question, if you could explore the Heeler house for a day, which room would you rate first? The sunroom, the backyard, or Bandit's secret snack stash? The Heeler house keeps throwing curveballs, and the fourth space, the sunroom, is no exception. This cozy little nook didn't even appear in the 2017 pilot, but it's changed a lot since the early sketches. In the original design, you'd find a plush armchair begging for Bandit to nap in. In the current version, that armchair's gone, swapped out for a treasure chest, maybe holding Chili's secret chocolate stash and a Bluey and Bingo babushka doll. The roof also got a major glow-up. Now there's a huge glass sunroof, perfect for soaking in daylight or watching Bingo pretend to be a plant. We also learnt in the Ghost Basket episode that the sunroom stretches further back than expected, connecting into another mystery room. Double the sunlight, double the secrets. Then there's the central room. Early designs show a simple one-level staircase heading down. But now, it's a massive two-tier setup, like the HEELERs needed extra steps just to keep Bandit fit. The couches look different too, though the bookshelf tucked under the stairs is still hanging in there, because nothing says family home like a staircase that doubles as a library. And those mysterious double doors? Who knows what's hiding behind them? Maybe a portal to an alternate universe where Muffin actually naps on time. In the 2017 pilot, this central room was barely visible, just a staircase more similar to the current two-level design. All these changes make the HEELER house feel alive, almost like it's upgrading itself every season. If those normal statues are really normal, we'll eat our hats. Because in this house, every corner feels like it's hiding something. Maybe even Bluey's long-lost snacks. The living room might just be the most dramatic transformation in the entire HEELER house. The original design had a very London townhouse vibe, which isn't surprising, considering creator Joe Brum spent years living in London. Honestly, you can practically hear Bandit asking for a spot of tea in a terrible British accent. The biggest giveaway? That charming fireplace along the wall. Fireplaces in Queensland are about as useful as ice skates in the desert. Sure, winter exists, but it barely needs more than a warm jumper and maybe a hot Milo. So that cozy British touch didn't last long. In both the current version and the 2017 pilot, the fireplace was swapped for something far more Australian, a TV. Because why huddle around firelight when you can huddle around cartoons of dogs pretending to huddle around firelight? Another big difference, the family portrait. In the 2017 pilot, it's missing entirely, replaced by plain windows and two lonely couches. Meanwhile, both the original design and the version we have now feel much more complete, full of armchairs, cozy details, and something always decorating that back wall. Turns out that's not just random art placement. Behind that wall is actually the kitchen and dining room. So instead of looking into an open void, you're peeking toward the heart of the HEELER home, or at least where Bingo raids the fridge at midnight. This room's evolution really shows how much thought went into making the HEELER house feel alive. From London-inspired fireplace dreams to good old Aussie practicality, it's a perfect mix of cozy charm and modern family chaos. And while Bandit probably wouldn't mind the fireplace on cold mornings, swapping it out for a TV just means one thing: more episodes of Hammer Barn on demand, and fewer chances for Bluey to roast marshmallows indoors. Behind the living room is the kitchen and dining area, which has seen its fair share of changes over the years. In the original design, the floor plan clearly shows the kitchen and sunroom placement, even though that sunroom sometimes seems to vanish in early Season 1 episodes. Classic Bluey magic. 1 minute it's there, the next it's gone. And yes, there's another part of the deck noted in the early plans, which eventually becomes part of the sunroom. Apparently, even fictional houses need bonus deck space. Now, over by the kitchen, there's a completely different deck that seems to have a mind of its own. In early sketches and in the episodes Barbecue and Teasing, this deck looks tiny, like it's barely enough room for Bandit to do his awkward dad dance. But in later episodes like Handstand, and again in Teasing, it's clear the deck extends much further, maybe enough space for a full-scale dog yoga class. In Season 3, it stretches even more, leaving us wondering if the HEELERs secretly hired a construction crew between seasons. Another funny detail: in the original and current designs, the only real difference is the table shape, circle versus rectangle. Not exactly a game changer, unless you're counting how many Paw Patrol figurines can fit on it. Meanwhile, in the 2017 pilot, the deck isn't clearly shown, but you can see a dining table near a door, presumably the back door. That layout links to a big staircase going downstairs, so even in the pilot, the HEELERs were planning their future deck expansion like tiny architects in dog form. All these changes, vanishing sunrooms, stretching decks, and shape-shifting tables make the HEELER house feel alive, chaotic, and just a little magical. It's like the house has its own personality, constantly adapting to Bandit and Bluey's shenanigans, and giving viewers a tiny puzzle in every episode. Subscribe now, or Bandit will steal your socks, Bluey will hide your snacks, and Bingo might draw mustaches on your family photos. Don't risk it. Hit that button. We have the HEELER bathroom, a room that's surprisingly full of personality. The original concept drawing and the current version are almost identical, which is a relief because we'd all panic if Bandit had to start plumbing adventures mid-episode. The layout hasn't changed much, and yes, that glorious bathtub is still there. Picture it, colonial-style elegance, just enough space for Bluey to practice her synchronized rubber ducky routines. The 2017 pilot, however, tells a slightly different story. Instead of colonial charm, it has more of a 1970s Queensland vibe. Think square-tiled bathtub and plumbing on the opposite wall, because apparently in the 1970s, Australia, bathtubs were positioned for maximum dad confusion. Honestly, it's like stepping into a time machine where Bandit could host a retro bubble bath party. It's funny how much thought went into this tiny room. The bathtub isn't just a prop, it's practically a co-star. You can almost imagine Granny sneaking in to give advice, or Bluey plotting her next mischievous splash attack. And while the colonial version looks pristine, the pilot's version reminds us that even in cartoons, bathrooms can evolve, just like the HEELERs themselves. One thing that stands out is the attention to detail, from towel racks to the placement of the toilet and sinks. Every element tells a little story. Maybe that's why the HEELER house feels so real. Each room, even the bathroom, is crafted with love, humor, and just a hint of chaos. So next time you see Bluey scrubbing her paws or Bandit checking the water temperature, remember, this bathroom has gone through more redesigns than your favorite TikTok trends. And honestly, it's still perfect. The kind of place where mischief, bath time, and cartoon magic collide. You won't believe this, but Bandit HEELER actually came this close to selling the house. Yep, the same cozy, chaotic, dog-filled house we all love almost had a for sale sign out front, all because of an offer from far, far away. Apparently, some big-shot buyer, let's call him Mr. Bodge, swooped in with a deal that made Bandit pause and seriously consider leaving the family home behind. Can you imagine Bluey and Bingo finding out? Chaos would have officially gone up a notch. The original idea had Bandit picturing a life somewhere else, a quieter street, maybe a house with fewer squeaky floorboards, and possibly less homework from Chili. But here's the kicker. As tempting as the offer was, Bandit had a moment of realization. This house wasn't just 4 walls and a roof. It was the center of all their adventures, the setting for mischief, imagination, and those epic family dance-offs in the living room. Could you really trade that for a bigger paycheck or a fancier mailbox? So, he changed his mind. Big time. The house stayed, much to everyone's relief, especially Bingo, who definitely would have protested with some serious puppy eyes. And honestly, the decision makes perfect sense. Where else could Bandit hide snacks, Chili manage chaos, and Bluey invent new games that make the floor look like a cartoon tornado hit it? No offer, no matter how flashy, could replace that. This little almost sold story reminds us that homes aren't just about bricks and rooms. They're about memories, laughter, and sometimes questionable floor plans that somehow work. And thanks to Bandit's last-minute change of heart, the HEELER house remains standing, ready for another round of adorable chaos and unforgettable family moments. The HEELER house isn't just a regular home. Sometimes it feels like it has a mind of its own. Seriously, this place could win awards for most mischievous cartoon house. One of the most famous little tricks it pulls is the mysterious tap switch. One moment, the tap works perfectly fine. The next, it seems to have a mind of its own, dripping, gushing, or mysteriously turning off as if it's laughing at whoever is trying to wash their paws. Classic Bluey magic. Ordinary things becoming extraordinary chaos. Of course, there's another possibility. Maybe it's not magic at all. Some fans argue these little quirks are just animation errors. You know, tiny oversights where the tap or a wall moves slightly between scenes, or a sunroom disappears for a second. But whether it's intentional or a sneaky mistake, it adds personality. That sunroom. 1 minute it's stretching into secret corners, the next it vanishes, leaving the HEELERs wondering if they accidentally slept through a renovation. Even the deck sometimes grows or shrinks depending on the scene, magic trick, or animation glitch. You decide. These little magical moments make the house feel alive. Imagine Bandit trying to serve snacks while the living room seems to change size, or Chili walking into the kitchen to find the dining table in a completely new spot. Whether it's playful house magic or a tiny mistake by the animators, it keeps viewers guessing and laughing. In the end, the Healer home proves that even in cartoons, a house can feel alive, playful, and unpredictable. With vanishing sunrooms, mysterious tap switches, and stretching decks, the house either joins the fun or just likes to confuse everyone. Either way, Bluey and Bingo love it here because every corner might hide the next adventure, even if it's just a sneaky animation slip. Thanks for watching! Click here to dive into our next video. It's even crazier!